everyone, my name is Diana, and in this video, I'm going to be going over some important terms to know when starting to learn about evidence-based practice or evidence-based medicine. So to start off, I want to compare external validity to internal validity. In order to understand internal validity, I want to go through the example shown here. So let's say that I didn't know, or we didn't know, that smoking caused lung cancer. And I came across a study, and it was a cohort longitudinal study assessing whether or not smoking increases the risk of lung cancer. So let's say I'm reading through this study, and I'm trying to determine whether or not this study has internal validity. So again, my goal here is to see whether or not this study has internal validity. So my exposure of interest is smoking, and my outcome of interest is lung cancer. So in order to determine whether or not the study I'm looking at has internal validity, I'm going to ask myself a series of questions, and I'm going to critically appraise this study and to look for any potential bias. And at the end of the day, what is my goal? At the end of the day, my goal is this. I want to answer this question. How sure am I that the outcome, lung cancer, is due to my exposure of interest, smoking? Again, how sure am I that the outcome, lung cancer, is due to my exposure of interest, smoking, and not due to some other factor? So that's the general gist of what internal validity is. Depending on the type of study design you're looking at, you're going to be asking yourself a series of questions to assess the validity of the results of your study. So your goal is to not just read through a study and then say, oh, it was published in the New England Journal of Medicine, so therefore this is valid. No, the purpose of evidence-based practice is for you to develop skills to be able to look at a study, whether it be a randomized control study, a cohort study, a case control study, or even a systematic review, and be able to determine whether or not this study has internal validity. Or you want to see basically how well this study was conducted, or how well was the study design of this particular article that you're reading. So again, going back to this example, if I'm interested in the relationship between smoking and lung cancer, and I'm reading a cohort study that is assessing if smoking increases the risk of lung cancer, then I want to answer this question shown here on the bottom. So to put this in a different way, it would be, how sure am I that the dependent variable, lung cancer, is due to the independent variable, smoking? So that's another way of looking at it, is thinking about dependent variable, lung cancer, compared to independent variable, smoking. So I think at this point, it would be a good idea to supplement this information with information from your lecture or from a textbook to see if you truly understand the concept of internal validity.